Hello, Lena. Welcome to Mr. Quickest Teaches. I'm Mr. Quickest. In this lesson, I'll be analyzing Carol Rumen's poem, Carpet Weavers, Morocco. Now, this poem is part of the 15 poems in the GCSE or IGCSE anthology. This analysis is part of a course in which I've analyzed all the 15 poems in the anthology that also contains predicted questions. So if you've listened to the analysis, for example, you can try your hands on the predicted questions to see how well you understand it. Now, additionally, there are sample A star or grade 9 or grade 8, I mean A as well, depending on the level, but these are quality essays that you can mimic, to look at how to write an essay. So, for example, what you should include in introduction, the body of your essay, how you should use conjunctions in your essay, what you should say about the structure of the essay, and then also the conclusion as well. So you find those samples in the analysis. Now, the course or the entirety of the course goes for only £5 a month in subscription, or you can buy the entirety of the course for £45 a year. That means you get to save 3 months in subscription or £15 for your subscription. Now, additionally, if you need help, so in any of the other subjects or any of the other components of the English literature, like the unseen paper, drama, prose, or even the poetry, you can join our tuition lessons or our lessons. Now, in those lessons, we teach you bit by bit, not only for English literature, but also for English language, history, geography, sociology. We also have teachers that provide assistance in math, the sciences, and the other subjects as well. So we at Mr. Quickest Teaches, we build your confidence because I as a teacher that I've taught since 2008 understands that when you build a student's confidence, then they are able to do at least 2 grades higher than they would do usually. So that's what we do at Mr. Quickest Teaches. So if you need help, for example, in the tuition and writing essays, for example, you can sign up, at www.mrquickestteaches.com. So www.mrquickestteaches.com. Or additionally, you can send me an email, and you send the email to mrq@mrquickestteaches.com. That's mrq@mrquickestteaches.com, or you send it to mrquickestteaches@gmail.com. So any of the other options, or you can just write in the comments field of this analysis, and then I'll reach out to you and see how we can help you achieve your academic goals. Let's begin the analysis. Let's start by speaking about the poet, Carol Rumen. She was born in Forest Hill, South London. She won a scholarship to Manchester Grammar School and later studied philosophy at London University before completing a degree. She gained a postgraduate diploma in writing for the stage with distinction from City College, Manchester in 2002. Now, Romance was also the poetry editor for publisher Quarto from 1982 to 84 and Literary Review from 1984 to 1988. Her work has appeared in The Guardian and Harper's. She was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature in 1984. Now, that's just a brief note on Carol Rumen. But if you want to know more, you can do your research as well. Now, this is how the poem appears. All right. Essentially, in terms of the summary of the poem is about this children who are working in a carpet weaving factory or place in Morocco, and the effects that they have, on this onlooker or this speaker that appears to be a foreigner. All right. So that essentially is it. How children are like the people who, from one generation to the generation, pass knowledge or ability. All right. So that's essentially the summary of the poem. The children actually are female, are girls, actually, young girls. Now, let me start off by reading the poem, Carpet Weavers, Morocco by Carol Rumen. The children are the loom of another world. Their braids are oiled and black. Their dresses bright. Their assorted heights would make a melodious chime. They watch their flickering knots like television. As the garden of Islam grows, the bench will be raised. Then they will lace the dark rose veins of the treetops. The carpet will travel in the merchant's truck. It will be spread by the servants of the mosque. Deep and soft, it will give them hipped. Deep and soft, it will give when hipped with prayer. The children are hard at work in the school of days. From their fingers, the colors of all that will be fly and freeze into the frame of all that was. So that's just a reading of the poem. Now, the poem, I want to start off the analysis with about the title of the poem. So the note on the title is that Carpet Rivers Morocco presents the poetic voice as a foreign observer. So somebody who maybe is a foreigner and has traveled to Morocco and is revealing the profession of the subjects or the persona, female girls, and the mention of Morocco, which is an Islamic country in North Africa, reveals the setting. So this is something that it's tied to Morocco, but there's a sense that that's what we are going to see in multiple other countries with different artisans if we travel there. But in this instance, Rumen is speaking about what happens in Morocco. Now, the speaker opens the poem with, "The children are at the loom of another world." Now, the use of the word "the children" suggests, the extreme youth, and tells that there are many of them, because children is plural, so there are many of them, or at least more than one. Let me just say, so two or more of them there. While at the loom tells that they are weaving, because loom is a place where you weave, thread is weaved, Now, this is important because it brings up the theme of child labor. Now, unlike the other poem that we've seen, the chimney sweeper, where the child is being treated unfairly, you're going to see that in this poem, it appears that the children are being taken very good care of. And we're going to see what happens in the second line. That's where I get that, the evidence of that from. So we see the theme of child labor because they are children. These are children that are working. So possibly they are not going to school or being taught formally, but they are being taught informally on how to make carpets. Of another word presents the subjects as from a different culture, or the speaker has been from a different culture because she's telling us about something that is happening in a foreign land. In the second line of the poem, we see the description of the children's appearance, right? He says their braids. So that tells us that their hair is plaited. So the children's hair is plaited. While are oiled, shows that it is well moistured. So these children are taken good care of. And black reveals their hair color and signals that they are, likely of North African origins of sorts. I mean, that may not be the case, but I mean, that's where Morocco is located. So we can infer or come to that inference. Now, the last bit of that line, their dresses bright, presents them as colorful and vibrant. So it is this second line of the poem that reveals to me that, the children, even though they are working, they are very well taken care of. Their hair is braided, its oil is black, their dresses are bright as well. Now, although line 1 shows the children are working, so brings up the theme of child labor, their description in line 2 shows that they are well taken care of, by those who are, taking care of them. Now, in this lines 2 and 3, we see a blend of repetition and anaphora. So the repetition of the word there in line 2, right, is actually thrice repeated. The thrice repetition of there in line 2 emphasizes, or line 2 and 3, emphasizes the speaker's complete focus on the children and her desire for the reader to know about them. She wants the reader to know about them. She would have just said their braids are oiled and black and their dresses are bright. But then we see here the repetition of there multiple times. Right? So it reiterates that she wants us to focus on them. Now, the third line with there, that the beginning of the second and third lines with there, qualifies the word as an anaphora and reiterates that the speaker wants the reader to focus on these children. Now, in the last part of the third line of the first stanza, we see a blend of visual and auditory imagery. So visual is what we can see. Auditory imagery is what we can hear. So their assorted heights would make a melodious chime, provides vivid visual imagery of the varied heights of the children, and likens them to different heights of pipes, right? Like pipes. So it's like one is this tall and this is another tall, where you look at an organ or something. That when you hit them, they are going to create song-like noises. So it tells you that the children are taken from varied, age groups to and then taught on how to make carpets, which is quite phenomenal. It shows that they are not, being selective, or some of them are not being excluded because of their height or lack of height. Now, in terms of the themes of the poem, we see the theme of child labor, but like I said, positive child labor, unlike what we see, in the chimney sweepers. Then we also see the theme of religion, because Islam is mentioned, culture as well, how children are treated, in Morocco as they weave as compared to maybe other places. The importance of children in generational knowledge transfer and continuity. That's also another important theme. So without children, a knowledge will die. Then we also see the theme of generational skills as well, among other themes. So any other themes that comes to mind, you can put it in the comments section, and then we look at it. Comment section, and then we look at it. In terms of the tone of the poem, I see the tone of pride, or the speaker is quite proud. There's also awe as well, high regard. It's also very informative and respectful as well. The speaker is wowed by what she's seeing. Then, in terms of the point of view of the poem, the point of view of the poem is recounted in the third person omniscient point of view. Why? Because we're told about the children. We see the repetition of the word, the children there. Then we also see they as well. Then the servants, right? Tells us that the speaker is telling us about what's happening, not only with the children, but the people who travel with the carpet, those who spread the carpet and the likes. And I say it's omniscient because this speaker appears to know everything that happens from the beginning of the weaving of the carpets to what happens to it in the final analysis, and the role that the children play in all of this. Now, in the second part, I want to speak about the form and structure of the poem. Now, students, it is very important that you write about the form and structure of every poem in the essay that you're given. If you're looking to get either a grade 8 or a grade 9 or an A or an A star, you have to speak about the form and structure of the poem. You have to write about it as part of your answer. And again, like I said, you find sample of it in the A star quality or grade 9 quality essays that I have as part of the course. Now, in terms of the form and structure of this poem is a free verse poem. That means that it does not have a rhyme scheme. And I think the speaker does it because to show the individuality of each of the carpets. None of the carpets is mass produced. None of them look like the other. Now, each of the poem is also made up of 4 tacet stanzas or 3-line stanzas. Tacets mean 3-line stanzas. So the poem has 12 lines in total, which gives it a very orderly appearance on the page. And I think it also mimics the appearance of the weaving that is being done by the children. So it looks quite, orderly on the page. Now, additionally, each line is a sentence that ends with a full stop. So line 1, full stop, line 2, full stop, line 3, full stop, line 4, full stop, line 5, line 6, line 7, line 8, line 9. In fact, all three stanzas, each of the lines ends with a full stop. Right? Now, except in the 4th stanza. So in the 4th stanza, the first line ends with a full stop, but then the second line of the 4th stanza, we see the use of enjambment. So the last 2 lines are linked together with enjambment, evidenced by the flow of words. So from their fingers, the colors of all that will fly and freeze into the frame of all that was. So that we see the use of enjambment there. So I think the speaker uses the enjambment to powerfully present the critical role that the children play in generational knowledge transfer. So they are the link. The children are the link between the future and the past. So that essentially is the only line. The Line 2 line to line 3 of the fourth stanza is the only line where we see the use of enjambment. So here you have it. Karl Rumen's poem, Carpet Weaver's Morocco, has been made simple. Like I said, this analysis is part of a course in which I've analyzed all the 15 poems in the GCSE or IGCSE anthology. So the course, each of the poems has been analyzed. The poem also the course also contains, predicted questions that you can try your hands on to see if you have a proper understanding of the poem. Now, additionally, there are also A-star quality or grade 9 quality sample essays as well that you can try your hands on. How to look at the points, how to look at the evidence and also analyze each of the points that you present. Additionally, if you need help with any of the other English literature components like the drama, the unseen, the prose, or even this poetry as well, you can sign up at www.mrquakersteaches.com. That's www.mrquakersteaches.com. Now, additionally, we also provide tuition services as well. So if you need help with any other subjects, English language, geography, history, sociology, math, any of the other subjects, the sciences, again, you can sign up or you can send me an email. You send the email to mrquakersteaches@gmail.com. mrquakersteaches@gmail.com, or you can send it to mrq@mrquakersteaches.com. That is mrq@mrquakersteaches.com. Remember, the courses, you can just subscribe to the courses for only £5 a month. So you get access to all the analysis of the poem, all the predicted questions, and also the sample A-star or grade 9 and questions. That's £5 a month. Or you can buy the entirety of the course for £45 a year. £45 a year. That means you get to save 3 months in subscription, and then you are paying for only 9 months. Additionally, if you want to reach out to me, you can write an email or just write in the comments field of where you see this analysis, and then we'll see how best we can help you. So from me, Mr. Quakers, thank you for joining the analysis. Bye-bye.